I'm almost wondering, like, if I were to find out that I was pregnant, would I be like really happy? Even though this is wild, the timing is wild. I've been like radiating this like baby energy and sending out this signal, and Vanessa's been like, your homing device is on and you are just like calling out baby energy. And I always said, I'm just going to meet someone, and when it's the right person, that's gonna be the next step. Like, I don't need to follow the trajectory of the steps. Pregnancy will be the next thing. So if this were to be what happens, then there'd be no bit of me that would be shocked, because I've been saying this for years. But it's just strange to actually be in this place. And then I've kind of also been thinking about how to manage myself and my emotions if I get my period this month. Like, am I gonna be really upset or disappointed? Is that gonna trigger this realization that I'm ready, that like I really want this? And what does that mean? And I don't think that I can even go there yet, because I'm not there yet. I still have like a week and a half until I would be late, and then that would pretty much, you know, that would be like, okay.
Do you have to go potty? Do you have to go potty? Yeah. Let's go potty. Hello. A balloon.
Hawk is 7 today, and he was at a sleepover with family, so everybody is coming home and we are making brunch to all have together. I recently made an important realization. While our family was out, what I noticed was how much they share their food. So their food would come and the move would immediately be, does anybody want to have any? And I'm not like this. I don't like to share my food unless the point is we're making a bunch of appies and we're going to share together. But when I have my plate, I don't want anybody picking off my plate. Like, it sounds so weird, but it's mine, me, want. It's like ego energy. Kind of just started thinking about it, and it led me into a deeper realization that I'm not really somebody who likes to share. And typically that's really put and forced onto us as human beings. It's a noble quality to share. But what I learned when I was really focusing on sharing, for example, bringing in income and sharing it equally with a bunch of people, I was disempowered. I'm not somebody who actually wants to share. I want to bring in and then circulate. And as soon as I realized I was more drawn to circulating than sharing, meaning I want to bring in money on my own or resources on my own, and I want to be the one to distribute it out to others, I got a lot of peace inside because that immediately felt more in alignment with me. But I do understand that I was conditioned to share. Sharing is good. You have to share. And I'm somebody who had cancer of the immune system. I had lymphoma when I was a teenager. At 16, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's. It is considered a type of blood cancer where it affects essentially your lymph, your circulation. I developed a large mass in my chest. And I really feel that some of my experiments and understanding around circulation and what that means to me goes a little bit deeper than sharing my food. What does it mean to me to share? And what does it mean to circulate? And which one do I resonate more with? And do I have the courage to choose the one that feels right, even if others may not agree?
Stop. No.
Today we went and took the kids to this glamping spot in Bali. It's one of my favorite places on the island because almost nobody knows about it. When you have an undefined G, you really do have to get away from people. Even if you're by yourself, but you're still thinking about all the identities that they want you to be. Sometimes you just have to be out of the physical space of people. So I love being alone a lot. That's something that I process a lot, is a lot of identity stuff, stories, assumptions, societal narratives, internal narratives, childhood narratives, friendship narratives. As a fifth line, there's always projections about who you should be, how you should be that person. If anything, it's how can I hear myself amidst the sea of my own desires and amidst the projections of others' desires. It's constantly finding that balance and that equilibrium between you as an individual and you as part of a collective. So I'm always really deeply processing storylines around identity out of any other energy center that I have undefined.
Death on a New Timeline, and all I'm getting for directions. So I am in Oaxaca. I went to Oaxaca because I asked some people, I'm like, well, who do you want to hear my podcast? And I got a couple submissions from my friend Jaleesa, who we have like a lot of these like synchronized things. We're very alike in a lot of ways. A part of me is just like, I need to record this in person. I don't know why. Well, then I guess I'll have to fly to Mexico. So I flew to Mexico so we could record a podcast together.
How did you meet Jaleesa?
Instagram, of course. I don't remember when or how, but we have a very similar way of expressing. I feel like our frequency is very similar, so it's just kind of a matter of time before we came across each other. Okay, we're leaving a place called... She said... Stiffs my leg so hard. We're leaving a place called San Jose del Pacifico, and it's in the mountains. It's the mushroom city. We didn't do any mushrooms, but it was beautiful, and we hiked, and I feel great. At least my soul does. Actually, my body does too. That's all. Okay, bye.
What is timeline jumping?
Timeline jumping is a modality that I downloaded the beginning of 2021 that allows someone to invite in a version of themselves who's living life on a frequency or on a timeline that a person desires. Like there's a version of someone who's living on their desired timeline. Timeline jumping allows someone to experience that version of themselves and it fully embody them and walk through life as them. It's kind of like if you took a character from a show and plopped them in your body, except that the character is you from a different timeline. Ease and simplicity is very important to me. I wanted to make something that simplified the process of embodiment and creation. That's really everything that I'm always doing, is trying to simplify. Because a big part of timeline jumping is using your mind's eye to be able to see certain things. Although there are people who don't see things in their mind's eye. So then when I'm doing like a group jump or a one-on-one jump, sometimes I'll talk about like sensations or feeling, or even like hearing and things like that. But for what it started with was inner vision, because that's my strongest sense.
Shut the Kill Up still hasn't announced her life updates.
Well,
Are they divorced or not?
You got that though.
I've never ordered this before, and I ordered it with like the utmost confidence.
It's quite pink.
I was like, I'll get a strawberry acai lemonade without those dry berries.
It's almost 420. Having a little bit too much fun at the store.
I just realized I'm actually having Zach film this right now because we were filming content in Target, but I was like, wait, I'm boxing Vanessa. I should film this content right now in real life. You know what I mean? So that's happening. I love weed. In 8th grade, I wore a bright blue t-shirt that said Hugs Not Drugs for my school photo. And later that year, I tried weed for the first time. I judged it so hard from the jump, like, because that's what society does, right? But then in college, I actually had some friends who smoked regularly and I tried it and I was like, this is a vibe. And now it's just like a companion, like a pal that's there. I'm somebody who comes from a family that's like mostly sober, and it's weird, but at the same time, almost all of my cousins smoke. It's kind of like we all, like the generation above us is like, we numbed everything, so we're completely sober. And my generation is like, we're going to talk about our feelings and we're also going to get high. What's that?
Where to, miss?
The Mall of America. One of my favorite afternoon activities is to smoke and then be driven. It's like, yes.
Me too.
It's so good.
Ooh, the hanging lights.
Getting our steps in.
With the ring, it's not even like getting our steps in.
No.
Getting our steps
It's
in.
like a blatant,
Shout out Aura
not
Ring.
sponsored, but this is the Aura Ring, and I like it.
Because I wanted you to be holding it in the video. You know, it's like it's like a prop, right?
I mean, unfortunately, it's an edible prop.
You just don't want to eat any more of it, huh?
No, honey.
Okay, yeah, no, I understand
Are
that.
you still recording?
Yeah, of course. All right.
Off we go.
You know, it was a good trip, but
we didn't make it to.
we weren't successful. They didn't have the mattress we wanted to see.
They didn't have the mattress we wanted to see at Macy's, and then we realized there was a purple store. Exciting. It was closed.
So,
So we'll be back in the next few days.
yep, we'll be coming back. Stay tuned. Off we go.
You're so cute.
Oh, you're newlyweds, so, and we're like, yeah, totally. That's why we want to cancel. When like on a typical day, we'd like to cancel because we like to just stay home and hang out. So it's like really the whole like energy that the newlywed gives you, where it's like excusable to want to just like be alone together, because that's our norm.
My environment is shores artificial.
How would you describe that?
I've learned so much about my personal environment over the years, but even before that, even before I knew anything, it was always, I just need space. I need space around me. I need space around my eyes. I need space around my inner eyes, my inner vision. I just need space so that I can see what it is that I need to see. And I notice that whenever I'm constantly being called into close-knit spaces, environments, I can't see well, or I don't have enough time to process everything that's going on. So that's why I really enjoy having intimate friendship circles, which is so funny because if you see any of the work that I do, I'm always talking to large groups of people, but there's still space between me and them. So it allows me to take them all in as one person, as opposed to a bunch of tiny features within the mosaic.
Derek and I both lost parents when we were young. He lost his mom to cancer and I lost my dad to cancer. And neither one of our parents reached retirement. And this really shaped our views on how we live, how we execute our lifestyle, how hard we work. Because we grew up with parents who worked so hard and yet never got to enjoy it. They never got to have that satisfaction at the end of all that hard work. This has definitely shaped our views and how we live our life and our approach to life. And I feel often very outside of how other people do things or view things, but just having my family there with me and us all together, holding each other and growing together makes me feel very safe. And I feel like we can kind of stay in integrity with what our family's values are and not so much what the extended families are, or what societies are, or what our cultures are. And it makes me feel really rooted with the family that I'm building for my life.
I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. I just wanna